Artificial intelligence. It's been taking over the world by storm, and not in a good way. So many people have been scared that AI will take our jobs and make us go homeless, but is that really the case? I'll be honest, I don't think we need to be worried about AI taking over our jobs, and that's a hill I'm willing to die on.
Prove it!
For those of you who don't know how YouTube Studio works, it has this little tab in the content section called Inspiration. Clicking on this will give you 5 different AI-generated video ideas based on what YouTube thinks your viewers will like. Clicking on one of these ideas will cause YouTube to start giving you thumbnails, script ideas, and a bunch of other stuff. But is it actually any good? Are its video ideas and scripts actually worth watching? I went ahead and opened the page 4 times and put the top options for each of the pages into a poll and asked my community which video they would rather watch. The options were Deep Dive, what makes a game truly scary, ranking the scariest Five Nights at Freddy's animatronics, how to fix the Banban movie adaptation, and pitching my own fix for the Banban universe. Now, looking at these 4 options, one of them might stand out to you as a little strange. Last time I checked, there isn't a Banban movie. Anyways, I didn't put this on the poll, but I would be using the first and second place options to test YouTube's AI. How, you may ask? Well, I was going to have it and other AIs like ChatGPT fully generate a script, visuals, and anything else I may need for the videos. Then make my own script, visuals, and anything else I may need for the videos using the same topics and put them all together into one mega video for you guys to compare. Granted, the videos would be significantly shorter than the usual content I make, but there's also 4 of them, so deal with it. After about a week or so, the results were Deep Dive, what makes a game truly scary at 63%, ranking the scariest FNAF animatronics at 8%, pitching my own fix for the Banban universe at 14%, and how to fix the Banban movie adaptation at 15%. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Thanks, YouTube. How the hell am I supposed to fix something that doesn't exist? Whatever. It's fine. I'll think of something. Let's just get this first AI video out of the way. Except, wait, if I'm having AI make all of the visuals, then I'm gonna need to get into character. There we go. That's better? Worse. Yeah, definitely worse. Forget everything you think you know about horror games. The most terrifying experiences aren't about gore or cheap tricks. They're meticulously crafted psychological weapons designed to exploit your deepest fears. Join us as we rip back the curtain and expose the chilling secrets of defective horror game design. Jump scares are the fast food of horror. They're quick, they're greasy, and sure, they'll jolt you for a second, but keep eating them and you start to feel nothing. You see the setup coming a mile away. The lights go dim, the music cuts out, and you think, ah, yes, here comes my scheduled heart attack. Cheap scares rely on reflex, not fear. The best horror games aim for something slower, meaner, and way more satisfying. Earned scares. The kind that make you pause the game to check your inventory when really, you're just taking a few seconds to get your soul back in order. Earned fear starts with anticipation. Your brain hates uncertainty more than it hates anything that actually jumps out. Designers take advantage of this with sound design that feels suspiciously personal. A soft thud upstairs, a scraping sound behind a door you were really hoping would stay shut. A music track that gradually loses instruments until it's just you, a drone, and whatever bad decision you're about to make next. Suddenly, you're tiptoeing through hallways like you're trespassing in your own home. Environmental storytelling piles on even more trouble. Maybe a door is open now and you swear it was closed. Maybe a shadow moves in a way that shadows have no business moving. Maybe there's a note that says, don't look behind you, and you immediately do, because of course you do. These tiny details worm their way into your head and start making you imagine threats the game never explicitly shows. And honestly, those imaginary monsters are almost always worse than the real ones. Some games match this without even a single loud noise. Amnesia: The Dark Descent turned simply looking at the monster into a panic event, like a toxic relationship with but with more screaming. Inside builds dread with its oppressive atmosphere and animations that feel one frame away from a nightmare. And Darkwood manages to be horrifying without any jump scares at all. It just throws you into the woods at night with sounds that suggest you should have updated your will before pressing new game. That's the real secret. The horror that sticks with you isn't the thing that goes boo, it's the quiet dread, the slow tension, the nagging voice in your head saying something is wrong and you're definitely not prepared for it. The scariest games don't just startle you, they make you scare yourself, and honestly, we're all a little too good at that. Let me ask you something. What makes you scared? And I don't just mean watching some horror movie and going, oh, that's kind of spooky. No. What genuinely instills fear in you? Maybe it's spiders or other insects. Maybe it's loud jump scares, or maybe it's the feeling of dread and knowing that something is about to happen. Did I get ya? Nah, I'm not that mean. I won't put any jump scares in this video. Okay, I lied. I put one jump scare in the video. Or maybe I put multiple. Guess you won't know until it happens. Horror games are one of the most popular genres of games out there, and while some of them are incredibly good, some of them are also, well, not. So I figured I'd take a look at what truly makes a video game scary. I think the biggest problem with modern horror is that they don't really understand how horror works. Bombarding the player with jump scares isn't scary, because after the fourth or fifth one, the player's built up a tolerance to it. If you want something to be scary, you need to have one very important thing: tension. If you keep a looming sense of dread over your players, they'll be more susceptible to scares. But you just have to be patient. Fears to Fathom doesn't scare you by constantly having jump scares. It scares you by slowly building up tension to when the scares do show up, causing a more intense reaction.
Okay. I'm sorry,
See what I mean? You don't get that kind of reaction if you're constantly being spammed with jump scares.
What do you got? 10 seconds. Hit me with your best shot. Just hit me. Hit me. I'm W key on. Hit me. Hit me. Do your worst. Shoot your shot. Fire. Knock him out. Bang, 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 baby. Good morning.
And to those 3-year-olds saying, oh, he's not screaming because the point of the game is to not scream, I'd like you to go play any horror game and try your best to be quiet. You'll still scream or have some sort of vocal reaction if you get genuinely scared, regardless if the point of the game is to be quiet. Now, I could go into all sorts of other stuff like character or level design, but honestly, if you follow the whole tension thing, you can really make anything scary if you do a good enough job. Did you actually enjoy the Garten of Banban movie? Be honest. Because if you're like me, you probably walked out of that theater wondering what went wrong. Well, I've got the answers, and more importantly, I've got the solutions. This isn't just a critique, it's a blueprint for the Banban movie we deserved. Let's begin with the obvious. The movie's immediate backlash wasn't just loud, it was universal. Critics called it incoherent, fans said it felt like a parody of its own franchise, and even casual viewers questioned whether the script survived a second draft, and honestly, the failure wasn't surprising. Not because Garten of Banban is impossible to adapt, but because this adaptation completely misunderstood its own foundation. So what exactly went so wrong? To understand that, we have to dissect the core disconnect between the games and the movie version. The games work because they present a world that's unsettlingly empty, bright, colorful, and childlike on the surface, but deeply wrong underneath. Every mascot is simple, iconic, and slightly uncanny. The horror doesn't come from loud moments, it comes from atmosphere, tension, and the slow realization that everything in this place exists for a reason you're not ready to learn. The filmmakers, however, latched onto the mascot's appearance without understanding their function. Instead of eerie figures lurking in the sterile hallways, we got hyperactive caricatures with exaggerated personalities and no subtlety. The quiet dread of the games was replaced with noise, jokes, and constant motion, all of which erased the psychological tension fans associate with Banban's bizarre world. Now, let's talk specific problems, the tangible issues that made the adaptation fall apart structurally. First, character portrayal. In the games, characters like Jumbo Josh and Banban are mysterious, almost expressionless presences. Their simplicity is the point. The movie gave them full comedic personas and emotional monologues that felt disconnected from their established tone. A faithful adaptation would keep their expressions minimal, their motivations unclear, and their appearances meaningful, not random. Second, plot structure and pacing. The movie raced through scenes as if afraid viewers would get bored. But Garten of Banban is about exploration. It's about questions, clues, and the unnerving feeling that the environment itself is an unreliable narrator. The film is said delivered abrupt scene changes, unresolved subplots, and lore delivered in massive info dumps. A better approach would center the mystery. One child missing, one parent searching, one kindergarten hiding something monstrous. Slow build, tight focus, rising dread. Third, tone and atmosphere. This is the biggest failure by far. The movie treated the setting like a playground adventure rather than a liminal, uncanny space. The lighting was bright when it needed to be clinical, the hallways were busy when they needed to be empty, and the camera never lingered long enough for the tension to breathe. A faithful adaptation would embrace stillness, silence, and the sterile horror of a place built for children, but abandoned by something worse. So let's talk solutions. The version of the Banban movie that actually honors the source material. You start with a single protagonist entering the kindergarten after a disappearance. No over-the-top mascots yet, just empty rooms, scattered drawings, strange symbols, and environmental storytelling. The mascots enter gradually as quiet silhouettes or distant shapes that blur the line between imagination and reality. Jumbo Josh doesn't speak, he exists, looming and inexplicable. Banban isn't cracking jokes, he's the soft voice in the dark guiding you towards something you really shouldn't see. The plot unfolds like a mystery thriller. Clues that build into conspiracy, mascots that become increasingly threatening, and a world that reveals its twisted logic piece by piece. The climax doesn't rely on explosions or slapstick, it relies on revelation, on uncovering the true purpose of the kindergarten, and on the protagonist realizing what has been hiding beneath the surface this entire time. The truth really is simple. The Garden of Banban movie didn't fail because the games are bad or unadaptable. It failed because it ignored what made the experience compelling. Atmosphere, mystery, restraint, and that strangely captivating sense of wrongness. And with the right approach, this could have been one of the most uniquely unsettling video game adaptations ever made. The Garden of Banban movie is a thing that exists, and as someone who's made a name for themselves criticizing Banban, I figured I'd give the movie a shot. That was a mistake. When I say that watching that movie was the worst 4 hours, 28 minutes, and 17 seconds of my life, I mean that was the worst 4 hours, 28 minutes, and 17 seconds of my life. It was very clear that the only reason that movie was made was, just like every Banban game, to make money. And the way they tried to do that was by targeting Banban's primary audience, 5-year-old iPad babies, and holy God, you can tell. I mean, between the cringe sound effects and stupid references, this movie is literally just what happens when you take a brain-rotted child, give them cocaine, and have them write a YouTube video. I mean, Jumbo Josh's first line is literally just, all I have skibidi is blah. God, just saying that makes me want to kill myself. Honestly, I feel bad for some of the more mature fans of Banban. I'm sure there were people genuinely excited for this film, and all they got was a 30-minute montage of Opila Bird doing Fortnite dances. I'm not kidding, that actually happens in the movie. So, as Banban's #1 hater, I figured I'd take it upon myself to try and improve this shit show of a film. First up, making the film an actual horror movie. Shocking, I know. Granted, there isn't a whole lot you can do in the realm of horror when it comes to Banban, but you can at least try. Having Jumbo Josh be this massive looming presence, hunting the protagonist down instead of spewing out memes would have been much better. Second, have an actually cohesive story. The film just jumps from scene to scene as if it's a sitcom, and the plot does not stay the same in these different scenes. It's like they're all just mini episodes the editors smushed together into a movie. To be fair, the story in the games isn't any better, but at least the overall plot of trying to find your kid stays somewhat relevant throughout the games. Last, why the actual hell did anyone think it was a good idea to make this movie 4.5 hours? I would like to speak with the director of this film immediately. I don't think the Euphoric Brothers realized that you can't refund films before 2 hours. Padding out runtimes just for the sake of padding them out doesn't apply for movies. In fact, padding out movies is honestly worse because the viewers just end up getting incredibly bored. I genuinely debated walking out of the theater around 45 minutes in, but decided to stick it out, and I can tell you that I have never made a worse mistake in my life. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. 2 different videos made entirely by AI, and 2 different videos made entirely by yours truly. A little bit after this video goes up, I'll be posting 2 polls on my community tab so that you guys can vote on which video you like better, the AI one or the human one. Don't worry, my feelings won't be hurt if you vote for the AI video. Thank you so much to everyone for watching. Be sure to subscribe, or if you're feeling extra generous, buy a YouTube membership. Anyways, see ya!